I see my name in shining lights. Yeah, a different city every night. Oh, I swear the world better prepare for when I'm a billionaire.
It's time to get down to business on the weekend's #1 business program. Known as the King of Networking, your host Shalom Klein has worked with thousands of entrepreneurs and created countless jobs. So, to success. Let's get down to business.
And indeed, we are all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. In business, we talk a lot about business here. You are on with Get Down to Business. So let's get started. You can always check out my website, shalomklein.com, and follow me on Twitter. I post lots of information relevant to small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. I'm really excited for our first guest on the program. Martin Saenz is the managing partner of the Quest Funds, and Martin brings social good into smart investing. Martin is very generous with his firsthand experience, which he's been working for over 15 years as a successful entrepreneur and real estate investor. Brings a lot of strategy and experience to the Quest model. Has a Bachelor of Arts degree in philosophy from University of Texas, San Antonio, and an MBA from Drexel University, and an MS in project management. Just goes on and on and on. Martin, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me on, Shalom. Much appreciated.
So I love to get to know the person behind the entrepreneurial excellence. So how did you get started? How did you develop your passion for entrepreneurship?
So actually, I always had the passion inside me. However, where the point at which I took action was when I got out of graduate school and got a corporate job in consulting, and then I got fired from that job a few years later. And my wife and I realized, at that time that I just was not cut out for corporate America. It was not, I wasn't good at playing politics and et cetera. And we just decided at that point we needed to go into business ownership.
That's awesome. And you wrote a book called Note Investing Made Easier, How to Buy and Profit from Distressed Mortgages. So how did you get into note investing? And if you can demystify the topic for our listeners that may have never heard of note investing at all.
Sure, absolutely. So I have a buy and hold real estate background. So buying properties and renting them out, essentially, both on the commercial and residential side. However, I had visited a local real estate club and in the Washington, D.C. area, and I stumbled upon note investing there at the club. And what that essentially is, from the perspective that I invest, is purchasing of mortgages whereby the borrowers have not made a payment in 4 or 5 years. And I would work with the homeowners to create a creative solution, such as like a loan modification, to help bring them back on their feet while making a profit for myself. And hence it's a win-win situation. And that's how I got started into note investing.
Wow, that's fantastic. So how risky is note investing? And especially in this day and age, I mean, we're living in uncharted territory. How have you been handling? How has note investing been impacted by COVID-19 and the year that we've had?
Sure, absolutely. So, there's both an internal and external factor, right? So how risky it is depends on the expertise of the operator. So I think that goes with, any industry. So the more that the operator has all their business systems set up, all their capital in place, they have full capabilities to run due diligence / underwriting on opportunities, then if they're set up that way, then it's going to be less risky. Now, in terms of COVID and the moratoriums that have gone on throughout the country in terms of eviction and foreclosures, a lot of that deals with government sponsored mortgages. So these are not mortgages that we purchase. We purchase mortgages in the secondary market space. With that said, we are conscious of all the stipulations that the CARE Act has. And, we want to be in compliance, as well as we want to be compassionate lenders if someone is having a circumstance. But in all, our collectability percentages have stayed steady throughout COVID. And what we found in a nutshell was the exact opposite of what's out there in the media. And that is people are appreciating their homes more than they have in the past. They're fixing them up. They're staring at their lawns because they're working at a home. And so they're just thinking of all sorts of projects to undergo in their house. And they're viewing their home as a safe haven. And so we're finding that there's a deeper appreciation for people's homes, and our collectability percentages reflect that.
Wow. And what I find fascinating about everything that you're doing, note investing, and in general, what you, your wife, your family, so committed to is this idea of making a social impact. Yes, it's about making, a profit. Yes, it is about making dollars and cents, but about having that impact. So let's sort of dive a little bit deeper into that. Tell us a little bit about some of the stories that you've heard and why you're so passionate about this.
Absolutely. So when my wife and I got into business ownership in 2005, it took us 3 years to get off the ground. I mean, we were beat up every which way financially, and we got behind on our mortgage, and with a large lender. And what we found was we would talk to a different person every time we tried to do a workout. We would try to send in partial payments. They would get rejected. We got a whole slew of obstacles that got thrown at us when we tried to do right by our obligation. And we just were financially strapped for those years. And so, it all kind of came back around where I stumbled into note investing, and I realized I can buy these loans in a defaulted state at a discount. And because I bought it at a discount, I can provide concessions to the homeowner to help them stay in their home with a payment they can afford while making a good profit for myself. And so that's an incredible win-win. And just throughout the years, I mean, I've worked on personally over 1,000 of these mortgages. And just to see people appreciate, you treating them with compassion, treating them in a humane way, I mean, that goes a long way to forming deep-rooted relationship with the borrowers. And it's been an incredible journey as a result.
It sure does. It goes a very, very long way. And so I know you and your family are based in the DC area. Where have your investments been? And now with the book, I'm sure you have a global presence. But tell us a little bit about sort of where your reach is and what the next year some of your goals are.
Sure, absolutely. So we relocated our company last year during COVID down to Florida. Florida, proved to be a more of an open state. There's no state income taxes, so it was just kind of a right move for our company. So we actually relocated our whole staff, and my partner relocated in from Denver as a result. So we're all here together in the Sarasota area. Now, as it relates to what we've been up to, I mean, we've purchased $20 million in distressed mortgages over the past year. So we've been pretty active. We have we launched Bequest Funds, which is an income fund that houses only performing seasoned mortgages. So we created a whole separate division whereby Bequest is an evergreen fund with no expiration date. It pays 8% annually, and it pays out our investors on a monthly basis. So it's a Reg D fund set up for accredited investors with the SEC. And so,
Awesome.
we find like the future is creating more of a legacy play for ourselves and our investors as we purchase more performing mortgages and help homeowners on the distress side as well.
Wow. Well, congratulations. And you've written the book, which I know is hopefully inspiring others. So I'll leave you with one question, one request for you to share where people can learn more about the book. I don't need to share all the nuggets, but what is the one takeaway in our remaining 30 seconds that you want our listeners to put into action immediately, and where can they find the book?
Sure. So you can go to Amazon and just type in note investing. I've written actually 4 books on the subject, and I speak at conferences around the country. But if you shoot me an email at martin@bqfunds.com, martinfunds.com. I'll send you a free ebook. That's probably the best way to get in touch. As far as a nugget, this is from my heart of hearts. I only invest in assets that cash flow and that I have control over. And I've been bitten every which way when I haven't followed those two rules of thumb.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for all that you are doing. Martin, one more time, where can people learn more about you, all of your books, and all that you're doing?
Sure. Email me at martin@bqfunds.com. Visit us at noteinvestingmadeeasier.com, and you can get in touch with us. You can go to Amazon and just put in my name, Martin Saenz, Saenz, and my books will all come up as a result.
Well, thank you, Martin. Thank you for joining us. We're going to squeeze in a quick break here on Get Down to Business. When we return, more small business jobs and entrepreneurship. Get on my website, shalomklein.com. That's where you can download podcasts from the past 7+ years of shows, all about small business jobs and entrepreneurship. Again, we will be right back after this quick break.